and welcome back to another episode of the Dumpster Diaries. I am Moses Wartooth, and I'm here with
Justin Allen.
And it's a new year.
Happy New Year's, ladies and gentlemen.
We've made it through 2023.
I didn't think it was going to happen, man. That was kind of a little bump in the road.
Things got pretty crazy.
It's getting a little wild out there, folks.
Yeah.
Oh, man. You got anything big planned for the New Year's?
Nah.
I
don't really do much.
I got a friend's house. They want me to stop by or whatever, but I don't know. Nothing too crazy. The older I get, the more I'm like, that requires so much energy.
Yeah.
Like to go do something or whatever, you know?
And then I got to get up in the morning too.
Yeah. You got any New Year's resolutions, man?
Try to start drinking as little tap water as possible.
Really?
Yeah.
What's up with that?
I'm stuck on the old, I guess I've given in too much or listened to too many conspiracies, although they've got some pretty good.
You mean the shit that turns the frogs gay?
The fluoride. So I bought like a very nice water filtration system. Yeah. So it's supposed to get 99.9% of all particles and sediments and filters fluoride.
You've been spending some time on the deep corners of the internet, huh?
Yeah. I don't know, man. Supposedly in like towns with the highest concentrate of fluoride in the water, they have overall a lower IQ than other cities. So yeah. I need all the IQ points I can scrape up at this point, man. Like
fried it up brain cells in our 20s. I don't think we're in our 30s. Need to be a little better.
I gotta hang on to what I got.
I just remember that clip. I mean, they've turned it into so many memes and stuff. So Alex Jones is like fucking screaming in a microphone as he normally is, and he's just like, "I'm tired of putting shit in the water. It turns the freaking frogs gay."
Oh, I did hear. I didn't hear the whole thing, but I do remember him ranting on about that stuff. RFK
Jr. was talking about it a few weeks ago. I actually listened to it. Like, it's like a legit thing. Like, it's not even a conspiracy theory. There's a thing, it's called, like, I think azatran, and it's present in basically all our drinking water. And so they put frogs in a tank with azatran, like in the water and stuff. And there was like a decent amount of the population basically became hermaphrodites, and I believe a lot of them pretty much all turned gay for the most part.
Well, that explains the rise in the LGBTQ community.
Hey, you know what?
We all need to stop drinking that water.
Yeah. I mean, I would be surprised, you know. Yeah, I don't know, man. As far as resolutions go, I think I'm just gonna try to get back in the gym, man, and like get healthier. You know, I'm tired of like living off Taco Bell and cheese puffs, dude.
Yeah, starting tomorrow, New Year's Day, I'm gonna go back on a relatively strict carnivore diet for a while. Yeah,
I know we were talking about. I'm thinking about joining you on that one, man. I don't know. I mean, because I remember when you did it, you lost like some decent weight fast.
Yeah, like too much weight. I'm gonna have to like.
I remember you got like skinny as fuck.
Yeah, I lost like 15 pounds in 2 weeks. It was like too ridiculous, but
yeah, but it's also like the good thing about like being a guy too. Like when I know like when you really work out heavy, and like if I work out heavy, and as long as you have like a proper diet and you stay away from like alcohol and sugar, dude, shed weight like nothing, dude.
Yeah,
like it just comes off easy. But like girls that I know, man, like dude, they'll have to like kill themselves in a gym for like a year straight to lose like 10 pounds, man. I don't know. You think it's like testosterone or something like that?
I don't know, man. I blame it on discipline.
Yeah.
And
that's a lot of it, man.
I mean, not just women too. Men and women for sure. But
you rack a discipline.
Yeah.
Was that South Park or
yes.
whatever? Yeah. Carmen's do that karate.
Yeah.
He's like a little more advanced than the others.
Yeah. But a lot of people don't have patience. They can't. Yeah. They don't want to. They don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. They see the light at the end of tomorrow. So
that is true, man. That is true. I think that's one thing that's good about you and I, man. Is like we always kind of think like years down the road.
Yeah.
Like, okay, how is this going to affect me in 5 years, 10 years? Versus like most people I talk to, it's just like, oh, I'm just trying to make it to Friday. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I used to be like that.
Yeah. You know, there's actually like a correlation with like wealth and success and like how people perceive time and how they think on timelines and stuff like that. Like if you talk to like a lot of really successful people and stuff, like that's how they think. They're like, okay, how is this going to affect me way down the road?
Yeah.
Every small action versus like people who typically are like on the other side of the fence. It's just more of like, I'm just trying to get to 5 o'clock today.
So it's like long-term stockholders versus flippers.
Yeah. Long term is the game, buddy. But yeah, man, I'm excited about the new year, man. I gotta ask you though, like, are you optimistic about this new year coming up? It's gonna be a wild year.
It's gonna be crazy.
It's that election's gonna be wild, dog. Like,
yeah,
I know. We always bring up politics just because it's like so much shit that's happening or whatever.
We have to,
dude. Like, is that? I don't know, but I just think 2024 is gonna make 2020 look like a drop in the bucket, dude.
Oh yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like, just look at I'm sure you probably heard Colorado and Maine states, their governments, they've taken Trump off their ballots.
Yeah, which is total bullshit because guilty or innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah.
He's just indicted. He hasn't been fucking charged with anything.
Yeah, he's like never been charged with like a criminal like case at all. Like he's been to court a shit ton. He's been in civil court out the ass. But like, I don't know, man. Like, god damn, bro. But as soon as I read that news, I saw that when they took him off, because they took him off of Colorado first, and then Maine was like, I want to be like you, and then they took him off the ballot. And the first thing I thought in my head, I was like, they can fucking do that?
Yeah, that was my thinking on that also. But again, and then I also thought, like, what if the Colorado voters that want to vote for Trump just write him in? Are they required to count write-ins? They are, aren't they?
Yeah, for
so
sure.
if everyone just writes him in that wants him to win, I mean, that would be a way to circumvent that. But that depends on how much faith you have in our voting system.
Yeah, that is true.
So
that is true, man. Especially like, well, speaking of write-ins, man, like from what I can recall, like at least in Texas, like where we're at, because ours is all digital now, right? Which I don't like that at all, but it's all digital. I don't recall ever seeing an option to just write in a name. It was just like, here's the names to select from, pick one, or leave it empty.
Yeah.
Because I won't name he who shall not be named, but there was a state level politician running. He's a Republican. The guy is like one of the worst, in my opinion, one of the worst human beings on the face of the planet. Crooked as fuck, dude. He's been under investigation so many times, and he walks away. Like, I'm gonna start calling him like the Teflon Don, like John Gotti. Nothing ever fucking sticks to his ass, you know. Like, but I intentionally just left his shit blank. I was like, nah, I don't want to vote for this Democrat, but I'm definitely not voting for this Republican. So I just left it blank or whatever. But I don't know, man. But yeah, dude. So the shit that Colorado and Maine pulled, I was like, what the fuck? And then last I heard, because I guess they changed it in Colorado. They put them back on the ballot.
Yeah, I think the Republicans had some way they were able to be like, no, this is, I guess, I mean, to me, it's unconstitutional. I don't know what they called it, but that seems like what it is to me.
That's what I think, man. And then
because the man has not been accused of anything.
Well, he's been accused.
Well, yeah, he hasn't been convicted of anything.
Yes. You know, and like, it's just, bro, it is perfect timing for all these courts too, man. All these cases, you see this shit like this happens all the time. You start getting up to election season, man, and it's like, there's going to be a war or conflict, or there's going to be some scandals that start coming out, dude. And so we got 1 year of, basically what I'm saying is like, for the next year, for 2024, you and I have like an unlimited amount of content.
Yeah. Every week is just going to be insanity, I'm sure. So
yeah, dude. And then you got now we got people all around the world just talking some shit now, dude. Like more people talking shit, because we got all that stuff like Israel versus Hamas, all that stuff. You got the Ukraine. China's just sitting on Taiwan.
Yeah, they're waiting. I'm surprised they haven't done anything. I'm surprised it's taken them this long.
Yeah, dude. And then like two things with that kind of shit. One, Kim Jong-un, the dictator of North Korea, right? Just had a meeting, I think like today or yesterday, with like all of his top tier generals, and essentially was like, hey, like get on standby, beef up all operations, prepare to go to war, and I quote, with South Korea and the United States. Now he's not actively saying, hey, like we're gonna go and be on the like offensive, but
because he has done similar actions before. Yes. So is it another bluff?
It's like show of force or whatever.
Yeah.
And they always do that.
They'll I guess they get tired, or maybe he's like, I haven't been talked about in the news lately.
He's like angry.
Yeah, he's
getting that McDonald's they fly in.
Yeah. He's like sipping on a Hennessy and a cheeseburger. He's like, I need my name.
Harriet Tubman's fucking flying the plane or whatever. I don't know. And for those of y'all who didn't catch those jokes, those are references to some shorts that we made that people thought were real. But yeah, man, I don't know. And then there was also, so aside from shit, North Korea, Al Qaeda of all fucking people, I guess they don't want to be left out. These are like,
I thought they were dead.
Hell, I thought Bush killed them.
Al Qaeda, then it turned to ISIS, then it turned to
fuck it.
Who was the other one? Well, I guess Hamas right now would be almost comparable to that.
Well, there was the Taliban too.
That's who I was forgetting. Yeah.
But the Taliban has become like a how do I say legit?
A government,
a legit political party, but like,
not legit, but I guess in the
they are. I mean, they
for
hold,
lack
they
of better
hold
terms,
seats now,
legit,
like office and shit. Apparently, they have free and fair elections.
Right.
So, but apparently Al Qaeda was talking some shit too, man. I guess on Christmas Day.
American Christmas, the entire world is like, man, I'm fucking tired of this shit.
Fuck, they're all banding together. They were talking some shit. They posted some videos online, basically some like death to America. I don't know, like, and then fucking they released it, and they're basically just calling for like everyone to attack the United States, right? And then
which they like to do around the holidays.
Yeah, because they hate our freedom.
Yeah. It really grinds their gears knowing we can eat cheeseburger and not have to fly them in from other countries.
I bet they see our shit online, and like, even though like it's probably just groupthink, you know, like basically mind control over there, you know, like it's like, oh, we all have to hate one thing, you know, like people get crowds, like, you know, the whole groupthink mentality. Mm-hmm. It's probably more like that, but I bet like secretly on the inside, like when they get online and see shit like how we live in America, they're like, fuck, that looks awesome.
They have to. I mean, if they're allowed to see that shit, and if they ever like stumble upon their version of the dark web and they see like some freedom over here, it has to hurt them.
Yeah, man, they got nice cars. People are,
we can drive cars.
You can drive cars.
We have
fucking own a car.
We have homes that only one family lives in. Like, pretty cool.
But yeah, I guess they were talking shit.
That's gonna cause some flack. People like, oh, you guys have such a fucking terrible homeless problem. Like, get out of here. I don't care.
Get out of here, Al Qaeda.
It's a solvable issue, but we're not going to. So.
You remember that Draw Muhammad contest week, dude?
Yeah, it was a classic.
God, that was good. I thought about like doing a quote unquote annual Draw Muhammad contest, but where we do it every month. Just call it like the annual Draw Muhammad.
Do it
contest.
On the first day of Ramadan.
God, dude, I'm a savage, man. Like, you know.
Just every month we'll enter them into various art competitions under anonymous names, and then just underneath it write Mohammed so they know what it is.
God damn, dude. But yeah, I guess Al Qaeda, you know, they pissed off throwing out those threats, and then the FBI and all law enforcement for the most part, and the TSA have like beefed up security. And I think the official quote from like the FBI was that it wasn't like a credible threat. Like, yeah, it was a threat, but it was just like some douchebag with a computer sitting in some shithole somewhere.
Sitting in a fucking bunker talking shit.
Yeah. Who does that?
Yeah, fucking idiots.
Just looking around in our bunker. It's like, what kind of fucking idiots got sitting in a bunker talking shit online? Huh? Maybe we can look deep in ourselves and realize we're not all that different.
We have something in common.
We can do some hands across American shit. So I don't know, but you know, folks, I know it's holiday season, man. So if you're traveling, I guess, you know, see something, say something, right? So
let us know your New Year's resolutions in the comments. I'm curious to know what other people would like to be doing, or
I'd definitely like to know what other people are doing. I mean, there's like big ones, you know, like get in shape, like save money, pay down debt,
the typical like shit.
We want to hear the cool ones, man. Yeah. What are you gonna do? Climb a mountain?
I don't know.
Do some shit like that.
I want to go to Peru this year.
Really?
That's like I want to go hike Machu Picchu.
Oh God, dude! You know what altitude that shit is at?
Yeah, I had to train, but they said it's
insane.
There's like a 2-day hike and a 4-day hike. So
I'd probably take the 4-day.
I'm impatient, man. I got to do the 2.
Fuck that. Fuck that. Have you seen the stairs leading up to that shit? That shit ain't no joke, man. It's like a fucking 60-degree angle all the way up.
End up having to rent a fucking alpaca. Only like the only white dude just draped over an alpaca.
Just can't even fucking breathe.
Like, wake me up when we're there.
Oh man, you got any crazy New Year's stories, man? That you want to talk about or whatever? I mean, mine aren't like too extravagant.
Yeah, I have one good one that I can think of off the top of my head. I'm trying to think of how old I was. Early 20s for sure. So,
were you in the military when this happened? When during this time, or were you not?
I don't know. It's that part is foggy for me.
You know what? I can neither confirm nor deny.
Yeah,
there we go. We're getting good, man. Doing this podcast, we're about to become legal scholars. We're getting really good at like dancing around shit. You know what I mean? We should be lawyers, dude.
We should be YouTube lawyers.
Oh, that'd be cool. We just review cases.
The people that do that, they have a disclaimer that are like, anything I say is not legal advice. Please do not use this advice.
Yeah, of course. You know the fucking idiots we have to run into all the time. Like they'll be like,
True. They're like, Harriet Tubman wasn't a Mexican dictator, but I'm gonna take your law advice. Like,
I lose faith more and more. Like, honestly, I really do. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love our supporters, the people who get it's a joke. Fucking great people, man. Make jokes in the comment. It's funny as fuck. Apparently, I'm Elijah Wood's cousin. So, like, you know.
Now you're going to be somebody else.
Draco Malfoy's, like, fucking retarded brother. The family doesn't talk about him.
Yeah. He's like, you're the mudblood of the family. Like, somebody accidentally slipped up. Like,
if Draco Malfoy had a little bit of Down syndrome. Dude, I do have like a quick little sidebar. I know we're talking about the New Year's stories or whatever. So the other day, all right, so those of you who listen just on audio, I dyed my hair like almost white.
Like platinum
blonde.
Yeah.
And
like in the light right now, it looks just totally fucking white.
I thought about, so just to give you guys some background. So because I got light complexion, I got blue eyes, so everybody's been calling me Draco. But fucking, I'm sitting at this local little restaurant near the university I go to, whatever. Now it's Christmas break, so people are just kind of going out and doing shit, right? Well, holiday break. And you know that those jukeboxes that they have where it's like the touch tunes or whatever.
Yeah,
it's all
you
digital
pick
now.
Songs and shit.
Yeah, and so you can download an app and you can play from your phone. You put money on it or whatever, credits, and then so you don't have to physically get up and put money in the machine, right?
So you can do it anonymously.
Right? And so I get my hair fucking dyed or whatever. And I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. I'm going to go out. And I tell one of my friends where I'm at. And he's like, nah, man, I'm not going out today or whatever. He's like, I'm sitting at the house or whatever. And I'm like, okay, cool. And I'd send him a picture like, check out the hair or whatever, right?
Yeah,
He already knew. He was like, oh, fuck, you know? And which is all the same reaction. Everybody's like, Jesus Christ, when they see me. Because it stands out, man. It's like it pops like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
And so I'm sitting there and then all of a sudden, so I'm by myself, okay? And I'm talking to like one of the waitresses that I know. She's a friend of mine. And we're like, yeah. And I, you know, just making jokes like, oh, will the real Slim Shady please stand up? You know, shit like that. I'm like, all right, whatever, dude. And fucking all of a sudden, that shit starts fucking playing. It's like, will the real Slim Shady please stand up? Yeah, back when he was his first like LP or whatever. Yeah. But I think he was actually good in my opinion.
He was good until he stopped doing drugs.
Yeah, he was better on the drugs in my opinion.
A lot of them are.
Yeah, I really think so. I mean, I'm glad the guy's sober or whatever, but I mean,
yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm happy for his health, but I also don't like the person he is right now.
Nah. Once he became political, I was like, I'm done with you, man.
Yeah.
So keep your fucking art and keep your fucking
his old shit's cool, separate. New shit, get out of here.
But anyway, so that shit starts playing on the over like the entire like restaurant / bar, and I'm like, fuck. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, it's just like I'm like the only blonde person in there. Right?
And this is a place that would not normally ever play a song like that. Like,
never would ever play this shit. And so I'm sitting there and I'm kind of like trying not to look all like insecure or paranoid. And I'm like looking around like, okay, who's fucking with me, right?
You're like taking a sip of water, like
yeah. And I'm like literally thinking in my head, I'm like, well, there's a possibility it's not about me. Maybe someone just likes the song, right?
I mean, a goddamn 1 in 275,000, but
the next thing that happens confirms my suspicions. Followed up after that song is I Want It That Way by fucking Backstreet Boys. Because I guess, you know how they dye their hair and shit all the time? Yeah. And so I'm listening to the fucking Backstreet Boys. I'm sitting here. Now at this point, I'm like, all right, somebody is fucking with me. Yeah. Like, where is this person at? Now, at the time when this happened, I had no idea you could just play this from your phone anywhere. You don't even have to be like within like a certain feet of the actual machine. Like you can. So
like as long as you just have that app, you can just control the fucking radio.
Yeah. Like right now, like that place is like 30 miles from us. Like we could be picking songs right now and they could be listening to
I feel like that's a major oversight in their system.
Yeah. I was like, what the fuck, dude? But whatever. So I'm like looking around like, okay, like who the fuck is fucking with me? Right. Because like I don't know anyone here really. And so I'm like, okay, now someone's just like really talking shit or something basically. Right. I can take a joke, but I'm just like,
Like, who is it?
Who is it?
Yeah,
It's eating me up, man. It's like, they're fucking eating me on the inside. And then my buddy sends me a text like 5 minutes later, and he was like, I'm gonna play that shit everywhere you go. And it was him. He was at his fucking house like 10 miles away, and he was like
Just
playing that shit. Yeah, dude. I gotta get a laugh out of it. I was like, all right, you got me. Because I was like getting like, I was like, who the hell is this? It was like really getting under my skin.
Yeah.
It was good. It was good, man. It was a good joke. But anyway, man. So yeah, New Year's stories, man. If you want to talk about it, you can. I know you got some crazy stories.
I'll discuss this one.
Okay.
It's fresh. Like, it comes to my mind pretty easily, so I'll be able to tell it. But so I went to Budapest, Hungary for New Year's.
Oh shit.
And it was cool. I stayed there for 2 or 3 days. Went with like I think 4 other friends. So New Year's night, we're walking around. It's cold as shit over there. I have on a huge black fur coat, like down to my, like, it looks like an old school, like a pimp coat.
Yeah,
it's just black, like, and the inside of it is zebra print.
So you walking around like a Mississippi pimp.
Yeah, yeah.
Just straight up in Hungary.
Yeah. So we walk by. We're in like the downtown district, and I walk by this stand, and this guy's selling bottles of champagne.
Okay.
And they're cheap as shit. I think it was like they're like $2, like $2 American a piece for 2 full-on bottles of champagne.
Is Hungary on the euro?
No, they're on something else.
Oh, okay.
I don't
so
remember.
You probably have more buying power.
Yeah,
over there. Okay,
I don't remember what the currency was at the time, but we were living pretty high up. It was good.
I lived close to like the Mosel River in Germany, which runs basically on the northwest side of Germany and goes into like France and all that stuff. Beautiful place, but every year they have like a huge wine festival, and you can buy like bottles of wine for like $3.
Oh shit!
And then, but they shut down all the streets. They had parades, and it lasts like, I can't remember, like it lasts a while. Like it's like,
damn,
it's like a week-long thing, dude. It's fun as hell.
Dude, I bet people just buy fucking trunk loads of that stuff.
Yeah,
and take it back home.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. You just buy them because like some of those they only release during that festival.
Oh, so they're like specialty.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
But yeah, and you just walk around in the streets just like double fisted
wine bottles.
Like, anyway, sorry.
So yeah, that's what I was doing. I was double fisting champagne bottles in Budapest. So we continue walking, and I'm drinking. I'm feeling pretty good at that point.
Toasty, but you're still like coherent.
I still know what I'm doing for the time being.
Okay, all right.
So we get to a certain point, and there's a fire just in the middle of the street, and there's like some people around yelling and shit. Like people got trash and threw it in the street and lit it on fire.
Okay. So I didn't know the fucking Hungarians get down like that. But
apparently it was some sort of a protest. I don't know what they were protesting because I didn't know what the hell they were saying. And they were starting the fire. They lit it up, and then they had some fireworks. They were just throwing them in there. So I went over there, and I was double fisting my bottles with the fur coat, and I was like jumping in and out of the fire, and the people started like chanting and stuff. And then I ended up just messing around with them, and then other people started jumping around in the fire. And then about 10 minutes later,
how many people is it? Would you say
at least 30? Like it was pretty big, and like people were getting loud, things were getting pretty rowdy. So then then the cops came, and like
the fun police, they always show
like
up, right?
Riot, like with full on shields and shit.
It's cool, officer. It's mostly peaceful protest.
Yeah, like
don't worry.
To be honest, I don't know what the hell they're even talking about, so I don't know what's going on. But so they show up, and then everyone starts linking arms. So I'm like, all right, well, we'll link arms for a minute.
And you're facing a wall of just SWAT
police,
team.
Yeah,
like riot shields,
and then
masks.
the other people, like people are getting pissed at the yelling turns angry. Like you can tell whatever they're saying is not good. Yeah. So then eventually I'm like, I kind of get a little bit more coherent, and I'm like, wait, what the fuck am I doing here? I need to get out of here. I don't even know what's going on. I don't
speak the language. Yeah. I don't know the culture.
I could be on the wrong side of a fucking race war or something with this. Like, I don't know. So I break away from that shit and keep walking.
Yeah.
So then after that, it's not yet midnight because nothing crazy, like no lights and shit, because they do fireworks there too. But no, so I'm walking, and then I come across this bridge, and I still have the bottles, but they're empty at this point.
So at this point, you're by yourself entirely.
Yeah. Okay. I broke away. I lost my friends.
You held the 2 champagne bottles through all of this?
Yeah. I was wasted, man. These were my things.
Not the booze.
Yeah.
Like that guy on the Titanic we talked about, where he's like, right. Fuck it. It's like them going down with his ship. I'm getting wasted. And ended up fucking living.
Try to stay warm. So yeah, across the bridge, I have the bottles. I just toss them over the edge.
Yeah.
Don't know what happens. Don't care. Keep going. So I ended
into
up
the river or some shit, dispose of the evidence.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's like evidence, It's like,
yeah.
I was not drunk, officer, and I sure as fuck was not in that goddamn riot.
I've never seen any of these people in my life.
I'm a law-abiding citizen.
So it's cold as fuck. I wake. I have to go to an alley because it's getting late. I'm tired as shit. At this point, I'm pretty drunk. So I go in an alley.
You probably have like no idea where you're at.
No idea. No cell phone. I have a phone, but it doesn't work over there.
Oh, yeah, because back then, especially then, like that was back in the day where you went to another country, your shit just didn't work.
You could either buy a plan or buy a SIM card to fit in the phone. But for like a 3-day trip, it's not worth it.
I still think all that shit's a racket, dude.
I'm sure it is.
Every fucking where you go, man. Yeah. I mean, I was fortunate. I was in Germany, so I was in the EU. So it worked anywhere I was in the EU.
Mm-hmm.
But if I traveled outside the EU, then it would just be like, kill you.
When I lived in fucking England. Yeah, I lived in England, and that shit only worked in it only worked in the UK.
Yeah.
It was some bullshit.
Oh, if you guys can hear some noise in the background, it's just we're literally recording this on New Year's Eve, not
from Fallujah.
From Fallujah, live from Fallujah. the Taliban, or like fucking Afghanistan, right?
Yeah.
They're fucking out there shooting AK-47s, but it's just people popping off fireworks, guys. We'll try to edit out as much as we can, but
we ain't editing shit on this. It's New Year's.
We should have just done like fake war reporting.
Yeah.
Shit going on.
Having the screen shaking stuff.
Shaking the camera. Yeah. So you fucking you get out of there. Your phone's not working. You got no idea where you're at.
I'm tired. I'm like, all right, it's cold as shit. It's snowing. Like it had been snowing. It was still currently snowing. So I find a nice, comfortable spot in an alley. Kind of took my like homeless style. I do end up going to sleep for a little bit. I don't know how.
Thank God you had that jacket, dude.
Yeah, I probably would have frozen to death had I not.
Yeah, no doubt.
But then I got kicked. Like woke up to not just nudge. I woke up and it was a girl and like 3 other dudes, and they were like, "Hey, what are you doing?" I was like, "I got nowhere to stay. I'm cold as shit. I'm just sleeping out here." And they were like, "Come with us." I mean, they were Hungarian, so they had the pretty thick accent, but they were like, "Come with us."
But they were younger, so they probably spoke English.
Yeah.
I got you.
So at that time they were definitely in their 20s, like they were my age. So we ended up going to a club, dancing. I mean, that shit was fun. And then eventually they were like, "Well,"
so fucking 10 minutes prior, you're homeless living in an alleyway. And then you're in a nightclub.
And then I'm in a club just living it up, fur coat shaking. Yeah. Drinking again.
Happy New Year, motherfuckers.
So then it's late.
This is why people think people from Texas are crazy, is because when we travel, we do shit like this.
Yeah. So then after the bar, they're like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I guess I'm gonna go freeze to death back in that alley." And they're like, No, you come with us.
Oh,
so
shit.
They ended up letting me sleep in their house, which actually we get there and they were like, "Shh, this is my grandma's house. We have to be quiet."
Not even their place.
Yeah, I'm like, "Dude, come on." I'm like, "Well, I ain't gonna say no. This is way better than fucking outside." So
and then
streets. They were like, "Also, you don't have a place to stay, so you have to sleep in the hallway." I was like, "That's fine, man. Give me a fucking pillow or not, whatever. Yeah. It's still better than freezing to death in an alley." So
God,
ended up spending my New Year's night in Hungary on the floor of a grandma's house, but I survived.
Outside of Budapest?
Yeah.
Dude, I really think, man, we need to like write a book or something between the two of us and just tell our stories, man, because we got so much wild shit, because we don't make up these stories at all. Like, no. These are all true. Like all the shit we've talked about on our show, which I know our first 12 episodes, you're basically inaudible. You can't even fucking stand to sit through them. You're like, God, this sucks so bad.
Yeah.
I think like the worst one is, I think it's episode 3.
Yeah.
Was it the Oppenheimer one? Where it's just like, it is bad. It is so bad.
I don't remember.
It's so bad. But anyway, anything after episode 12, you're good.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And this coming year, our shit is going to get better.
Yeah. It's because we're
looking forward to that.
We're making a new studio. Like, we're going to be getting more equipment. Like, we're going to start adding on some stuff. And then we got some guests lined up, too. Do you want me to tell them like a brief topic about who, I won't say who it's going to be, but like what the topics are going to be about? Or you just want to keep it in the dark and bring it up
Let's
later?
surprise these motherfuckers. Surprise them.
It's 2 good stories. Like 2 people who have really good stories of things that they've done and dealt with in their lives.
Yeah, views that we have no idea. So it's going to be extremely interesting.
Yes, completely different.
Yeah, as walks of life. Like
Yeah, I'm excited about that.
Me too.
Like, that's gonna be good.
It'll be fun to get some guests on.
Anyway, back to the New Year's stories, right? Yeah. Man, after hearing your story in fucking Budapest, it makes me look like Mine's pretty tame. Like, you know, like most of them just involve me like just being in a bar somewhere. And it's usually like the saddest thing in the world too. It's just like look the sad. Like I'm usually, cause you know me, I fly solo, man.
Yeah.
So I just be sitting there like drinking, and everybody's around me. I look like Lieutenant Dan in Forrest Gump. When he's like, "Happy New Year, Forrest or Lieutenant Dan. You ain't got no friends, Lieutenant Dan." So I'm just sitting there, I'm like a disgruntled war vet.
Yeah.
Just like fuck. You know, slamming whiskey or whatever. But I don't know, man. I do got one that's pretty good. It didn't even involve me at all, and I wasn't even there for like most of the story. So I was living in Germany. And everybody's out like drinking and stuff. We go right at this Irish pub, right? And it's like legit owned by like Irish dudes. Like it's pretty cool, man. Like they had like a window, like a patio area, and they had like a window directly into the kitchen, and you could see in the kitchen. And it was just always like this one cook. It's about as Irish as you could get, and he just has like a glass of whiskey, and he just be like drinking whiskey, and then he just be like fucking making fish and chips and shit. And so I guess he owned the place, and he was like, "I'm gonna fuck."
Oh, he was like, "Well, fuck yeah."
Yeah, that was good, man. To this day, that's some Irish food is like some of the best food I've ever had. But anyway, so my friend, we're out drinking at this Irish pub or whatever, and now everyone is drinking heavy as fuck. And I believe this was probably it was definitely before COVID. So I don't know, it was like 5 years ago, maybe 6. I don't know. It's been a while. So I'm like in my mid-20s or whatever, a little older than most of the guys in the group. Most of them are like 21, 22. Yeah. I think I'm like 25, 26 around this time. And this one guy, I don't even know how this happened. He ends up like getting in almost a fight. You know how bros do. They just 99% of the time it's just like pucking up, like, you know, bumping chests, like, "Come at me, bro.
Say something, motherfucker.
I respect you. I respect you too." Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I love you.
Yeah. Then they end up crying later and shit. And then they just live with that for weeks, and it just pisses them off. Yeah. It would have been easier if you would just punched each other. They wake up the next
day and they're like, "This motherfucker."
It never gets settled, never gets resolved, just builds anger and resentment. Sometimes violence is necessary. But kids. Anyways.
Get it off your chest.
So that happens to like my buddy or whatever, and we'll call him Tony. We'll just say my friend's name is Tony, right? I think he actually listens to this show, so he's gonna know I'm talking about him. And we're in this Irish pub. It's late. They done called the New Year and stuff. Like, woo. But he's having a bad night, and you could already tell he was kind of like all fucked up. I think him and his girlfriend like broke up or whatever, and so, you know, at that age, like, you actually care. That means shit. You actually care, you know. You know, like now, like, I'm in 30s, like, just move on. You know, like, you know, not worth it. But, so he ends up like getting in this like little altercation or whatever, and he decides to show how badass he is, and he just punches through this fucking plate glass window in the bar.
Oh,
right. And so it's like, you know, those windows where it's got like, you know, fucking just squares or whatever.
Oh yeah.
So he just punches one of these squares out, like a little 12-inch by 12-inch square, right? And then I look instantly and see a lot of blood, and I'm like, that's not good, because so the glass had like hit in his arm, and he did the whole down the street, not across the road.
So it like, hit and it just cut it.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
And so I'm like, "Dude, your fucking hand." And he was like, "Fuck." And then and then like the bartender owner or whatever, she's getting pissed. She's like, "I'm calling police right now. Like, you damaged my property. Like, I'm not fucking around with this shit." And she's like, "I'm tired of this." I'm like, "Oh fuck." And he was like, "I'm getting the fuck out of here." And then he just grabs like a fucking like a jacket, and then he just wraps it around, and then he just books it out the door, man. And this motherfucker is running in the middle of like, it's a small village in Germany, but like, imagine, I'm trying to describe what it would be like. You know where like Harry Potter lived? I mean, since we're calling him Draco Malfoy. Okay, like his house, it's something like that. House is spaced out a little bit more, a little more land, and there's little like shops here and there, and then like 1 or 2 pubs in the village, right? Village got a couple thousand people in it, not a big deal. But he takes off running through the streets. Now he's fucking wasted, and he is bleeding out actively, so his blood's super thin, and then he's getting his cardio up too. So imagine just shooting out, dude. And then he's like, "Fuck, I gotta hide." And he told me a story later. He said he saw a cop that had its lights on, and he just thought, he was like, "It's about me. I gotta go." Yeah. You know, and he's like paranoid or whatever. And so he's like getting disoriented. He's getting fucking tired. And he starts to like not feel good at all. Probably getting lightheaded. From the fucking blood loss, you know. And it's like, I mean, it's New Year's in Germany. It is cold as fuck, dude. Snow everywhere. Like, and so anyway, he ends up booking it into like this part of like a neighborhood, and he's like, oh, I need to rest. And there's no like benches or anything around. So what does he do? He goes to somebody's doorstep.
Oh, Jesus.
And it's like a little walkway, and he just curls up like in this little walkway like on the door, and then he just passes out. And then this German dude comes out. He said it was still dark, but it was like hours later. The German dude comes out and is like yelling at him in German because
like he was passed out on this dude's door.
Yeah,
like door, just on his door,
on his house, like not an apartment, like a standalone house.
Oh my god!
Yeah, so this old German guy opens the door, sees this drunk American just bleeding out, like
he's like, get off my fucking porch,
and didn't even try to help him. Yeah. Nothing. Starts screaming at him or whatever. So my buddy Tony just takes off fucking running. Then he calls one of our buddies. They come and pick him up or whatever, and then he got to his house or whatever, and then he just literally put like a t-shirt on and then just duct taped it, and then like the next day he went to the fucking hospital. God. And they were like, how did it happen? He's like, I fell downstairs. Like in the, because that's always the excuse in the military because no one wants to get in trouble.
Yeah, I've used that multiple times.
Yeah, you know how many times I've fallen down the stairs in the military? Yeah.
I've only actually fallen downstairs once.
I ate shit in Korea one time.
Dude, that's where I fell too.
Dude, it's that fucking ice.
Those steps, and those steps are crazy narrow and super steep.
And then in the wintertime, they ice over real bad. And I hit a patch of ice.
Open. They're in the open, and then there's all the bars are 2 stories.
Yeah, dude. So like my shit, I think I was going down to a subway, if I remember right. There's just fucking ice everywhere, dude. And I fucking slipped on some ice in Korea, like in Seoul, South Korea. And dude, I just ate shit and I fell down. I mean, I think it was at least 30 stairs. It was like a fucking cartoon. It really was. Like I was like, like on the way down and shit. And then like, I thought I broke my tailbone, man. Shit was like all bruised and everything. Oh, I do have a story. Well, it's around New Year's story about how I almost died. I ever tell you that? How I almost fell? I think it was like 8 or 9 stories out a window.
Where?
Once again, in Korea.
Dude, the shit happens in Korea.
It does, dude. It
shit
really does.
In Korea.
It's still one of my like top 3 favorite countries.
Oh yeah, I want. We should go back.
We need to take a.
We should go to Seoul. Yeah,
do a video there for like episode. That'd be kind of
interview
cool.
some people
in a nightclub.
We get some shit lined up, dude. What was?
Yeah, I mean, I still know people over there.
There was one nightclub in Seoul that was like the best thing ever.
The Octagon.
No,
it was like the 8th best nightclub in the world.
This one had like. This is really gonna narrow it down, but it had like glass tables that people could dance on, but it was like multi-tiered and it went down and then it went back up, and you could dance basically like touch the stage where the DJs and shit were.
That's cool.
It was cool as fuck. Can't remember what it was called.
You know what I liked about the clubs there is I spent a lot of time in Hongdae. Like basically a little college town on the outskirts of Seoul. And what I liked there was the nightclubs. They had TVs on the outside that showed you what the dance floor looked like on the inside.
So you could just tell. You could be tell like, I want to go in there.
I don't want to pay to go in there. There's nobody in there, or I don't want a lot of people around me. So like it's better. I want somewhere to chill. Dude, Hyundai is a cool fucking little town. It is. Man. Damn.
Korea is just cool as shit. I love that place.
I don't even remember the damn. Oh yeah, me almost falling off the window and dying. Okay. All right, man. So like I lived off base, by myself, basically a studio apartment, right? And because it's South Korea, small landmass, so things are built vertically there, right? Which is why you get like these 20-story buildings that have restaurants, nightclubs, bookstores, all kinds of crazy shit in them, right?
Which again, that shit's cool.
It's cool. It's really cool, man. And then, God damn, I really want to go back, dude.
I do too.
I bet it's popping off for the New Year's there.
New Year's resolution. We got to go to Korea.
Fucking South Korea. As soon as you get done dying on the mountains of Peru, we'll turn around and go to Korea.
Won't be able to walk after that.
Come back on that alpaca. Holy shit. Moses? That's like some
That's fucking, a fitting name.
That's some biblical shit right there, dude.
Moses traveled to Machu Picchu on an alpaca.
My third act. You know, the Old Testament, New Testament. And it's just like, I don't know. So anyway, I believe it was like, I can't remember, 8 or 9, we'll say 9 stories up. And I have, windows in my apartment or whatever. Now in Korea, they don't have like trash collection like we do really. They just throw it on the side of the street.
Yeah.
Like we'll have like designated bins or whatever, like put this in. Some cities require you to recycle, whatever. There they just have like designated corners where they just pile it up, and sanitation workers, they come and they're really efficient at this.
They really are.
They clean all of it up.
It makes it sound dirty, but it's not. They keep it clean.
Yeah. And so anyway, now you got to think, if I got to take out my trash, I didn't mention this little part. the apartment complex I lived in was so new that the elevator wasn't installed yet. So every day I had to walk 9 flights down and up, right? So it was a lot, right? And so I found out that I could, when it came time to take out my trash, I could open a window, and I'm basically like eye level with their power lines, right? Well, they're a little bit below me, but if I could huck the bag over the power lines and across the street, it could hit the pile. I never have to go down, right? So I've done this a million times, right? So it's just funny because people be walking the street and they just see like this fucking big ass bag of trash go flying. I'm like, look out! Oh shit, that hurt. So anyway, I do it a million times. Well, one day I think I had probably 10 too many whiskey sours. and big part, the window was up, so I had to stand in a chair. Okay.
Oh.
And rickety little wooden chair, like these aren't carpeted floors, like it's all like slick tile, man. And like fuck, I miss that apartment. So it was so nice. But anyway, so I'm like standing on this chair, and I'm like, all right, trying to hook it out this window, right? And I have my hand against the wall, and something happens. I don't know if my finger got caught or whatever, but the bag pulls me like this, and it's like 3 a.m. I'm fucking wasted, right? And so I kind of would always sit on the ledge because the ledge for the window was like almost chest high, right? So I would kind of be like standing on this chair, sitting on the ledge, have my hand to catch me, right?
Yeah.
That bag pulls, dude. My entire ass comes off the ledge, and the first top of my body is hanging out the window, and I'm like, oh fuck! And I'm like holding on to like the edge of this fucking wall, and then I freak out and I pull myself back with all my force, and I go flying back like fucking Winnie the Pooh, dude. And then I land on the chair. The chair had flipped, and literally like this seat part goes straight up and fucking right on my tailbone, dude. And I just sit there, and my neighbor was like, I knew the guy. He was like, are you okay? He's like, we heard some shit last night. He's like, yeah, we heard like a loud bang and stuff, and then we just heard like groaning for like 20 minutes. It hurts so, dude. I mean, it brought tears to my eyes, man. It hurts so bad. And I'm just sitting here holding my ass, look like I've been fucking gang raped. And I'm like, oh, god damn it. And then, dude, I almost broke my tailbone twice in Korea. It was a stairs story, and it was this story. But so I had to go to the doctor, man, and then it's turning a long story just talking about my ass. But so what else? Read the title of the podcast, ladies and gentlemen. What do you want from us? So it hurts to walk, man. And I got like a PT test coming up. You know, like everyone looks for an excuse to get an extension on that. I'm like, dude, these guys are
especially in Korea.
Yeah, because everyone's all out of shape because they just drink all the time.
Drinking, eating shitty.
And so I go to the doctor, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm just going to explain it to him, and then he's just going to give me this like waiver for like a 30-day extension, a 60-day, whatever, and then I'm going to move on with my life. And he's like, I got to see it. And I was like, huh? He was like, yeah. And so I was like, you mean like you just want me to just drop the pants? And he was like, yeah. And so I got
you wanted to see it bruised or something?
He just wanted to check the tailbone to see if it was okay. See if it was broken or whatever.
Just do an x-ray?
Dog, it's military healthcare. You know they ain't trying to
get a finger down. For real?
Ooh, baby.
Tell me if it hurts.
I should have been like, he spit on it first. But the guy was as cool as you could be.
About the situation.
I'm literally bending over like on that little like desk chair thing they get you on. And I'm like sitting there, and I got my pants around my ankles, like underwear down and shit. And this dude is literally just spreading my ass cheeks like he's about ready to just spit in my asshole, dude. And I'm just like, God damn it. He's like, you fucked your shit up, man. He said it might be fractured, but he's like, you know, he's
can't do anything about it anyway.
So he wrote me like this whole waiver thing for it or whatever. But I was like, thank God. So moral of these stories, ladies and gentlemen, is enjoy your New Year's, but be careful.
Take the steps.
Take the stairs. When you're faced with that, trust me, 9 flights, it's not that bad. God damn. I really do miss Korea, man.
Would have walked 18 flights to avoid that shit.
Dude, I never did that shit again. Never did that shit again, dude. I was like, fuck no. I just wanted to know, like, my neighbor that lived next to me, he was cool, but I want to know what the dude below me probably thought. I never met that guy. I was like, dude, he was probably Korean. Yeah. He probably thought I fucking killed somebody. Just a boom, boom, bang. Just, you know.
Did your place have like those what now is a Ring doorbell camera, but like you could see what was going on outside of your door?
No, we didn't.
They probably hadn't installed it yet if it's that new.
Yeah, we didn't have it. But what I did like is we didn't have keys. We had codes.
Oh yeah, you had to pull the plastic thing off the door and punch it in.
Yeah, and then we had like a huge, nice patio area on the roof. Because like when I was in Korea, we had curfew at the time. Apparently now that doesn't exist.
Really?
Yeah, they did away with it.
Those bastards.
I know. I was
it
like,
was 1 a.m. Unless we got in trouble, then it was 12 or just none at all.
Yeah, God, put you like on base restrictions.
Yeah,
God, that's so miserable.
Or whenever North Korea wants to threaten you, that happened when I was there. We got locked down on
put
base.
on 12-hour shifts every day for the foreseeable future.
Inevitable,
I'm telling you, man, like really, if North Korea really wants to win, dude, all they gotta do is just attack on like a Saturday night.
Yeah.
That's it. Everybody's drunk. Everybody drinks their ass off there.
Everyone.
I knew Mormons that drink there. That tells you anything.
Korea is like Vegas on steroids.
It really is. God damn. Oh yeah, I miss that place, man. But I don't know. That's part of what made it fun, though. Is like because I broke curfew many times. I would just travel a ways from the base and do my own thing or whatever. Because they send out like basically it's Gestapo shit. Like they'd send out like town patrol, like police, military police, Korean police. They all team up and they just like literally scour the streets and alleyways just looking for you. Like
the cover story always teacher from South Africa.
I said Canada.
Canada?
Yeah.
We knew people from South. We met a group of teachers and we would go on trips with them and shit. So we were just like South Africa.
They got a little bit of an accent with South Africa.
Not really, man.
Didn't?
They sounded like just
American.
like a regular old American person.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
like obviously not our accent, but like someone from Midwest or up north or like.
My cover story was just always I was on vacation from Canada.
Yeah.
You know, so I use that like when we go to like sketchier places in Europe and stuff. Like I would
never admit to being military.
Or like if I wasn't in the military, I wouldn't have a problem telling people I was an American.
Yeah.
But because of like being in the military, it's just like, nah, I ain't dealing with this shit, dude. Like,
no,
we ain't doing that. Because you never know what you're gonna run into, man. You really don't.
No.
But I don't know, man. But the part of like the thrill of being in South Korea was, when you broke that curfew, like that was like the hype. Like if you were out like drinking and like partying and shit, you were like, this get in.
You were like, all right,
second.
We just leveled up. Time to be on the alert.
They would come in the clubs and like walk through and shit, and they would like literally like they would just point people out. Now I had a buddy of mine. He was Filipino, right? And there's a lot of Filipinos that work there.
Yeah.
And he would never go home. And he was like, no,
they just thought he was a regular.
They just thought he was like a regular. And he spoke fluent Tagalog.
Oh, well, dude, he's good then.
And so they come up talking, he would just speak that shit. And then like I believe he still had like a Filipino like passport, I believe, that he would carry with him.
Well, then he had
some identification from the Philippines still.
Like, so that he was just good.
Mm-hmm. I was like, you lucky bastard.
Right?
Because I was looking into like professional cosmetics. Like I was gonna do like Johnny Knoxville did in like Bad Grandpa. Like I was just gonna get like an old mask, and like just do all that shit and just be like I'm 80 years old.
Put on like an old beret or something and just hobble around. Another soju, please.
Holy shit. Yeah. I don't know, man, but I'll tell you what, for the new year, I really actually am like super optimistic, dude. The election's gonna be fucking insane. If these states keep up that ballot bullshit, keeping Trump off that stuff, that's not gonna end well for anybody.
Which that in itself just proves they're afraid he's gonna win.
Yeah. 100%. The motherfucker's gonna, there's hands down. There's no way. If it's just a fair, straight up election, him versus anybody, he's gonna win now.
Yeah.
Now the last election, I could say, okay, I could see a coin toss because he had so much hatred towards him. There was some controversies on how he handled certain things or whatever. And as COVID was happening, everybody was scared. Everybody wanted to fucking change, like something different, Yeah. But now the way the world's been going, based on his track record too, not a fucking chance, dude. Nobody can hold a candle to that shit. But I really want the dude to be running the joint from the can. That's
Me
what
too.
Dude, what do you call him? Ultimate shot caller?
Yeah.
Dude, God damn it, brother. I can't wait till we start making sketch comedy, dude, because that's gonna be so much fun. Because we wanted to do a scene where we basically have Donald Trump like in prison, and he's just like literally like running the country from prison and all that stuff.
Like instead of the Oval Office, it's just a jail cell. Like
I want him to run this bitch from the can, dude. Dude, it'd be the most gangster shit ever.
He's making calls on one of them old school Nokia brick phones. Like
somebody smuggled in the ass.
Yeah.
So, yeah, somebody shit out of phone.
Flicks a piece of shit off of it and dials the number.
Melania. It's Don.
Send me some pics.
You think, I don't know, man. It's going to be wild, dude. Whatever's going to happen. And then I started thinking like, okay, let's just say hypothetically, like he stays off this ballot, right? All right, 2 different scenarios. He stays off the ballots. Like, well, I guess now it's only one. It's just Maine and just in question. I'm sure some other states will kick
for sure. They're going to be like, holy shit, we can do that.
Yeah. And then let's say other scenario, like he's in some sort of jail, prison, whatever, right? Like that, he has so much support. And I'm not advocating for violence by any means, but like, if you thought that Capitol Hill shit on January 6th was crazy, imagine
which he had nothing to do with.
Yeah, he wasn't even there. They were like, he gave a rally before. I was like, the dude does 3 rallies a day. But anyway.
That's his job.
It's neither here nor there. So, but just imagine if that dude gets elected president, right? What the fuck do you think is going to happen in that fucking prison? Okay, I'm just use your imagination, folks. I'm not saying anything.
Well, not so much. I mean, that and the left is gonna go insane, also. So.
Yeah. And then on the flip side, let's say he loses because he's not on a ballot in like a swing state or something like that.
So then there is gonna be a lot of people that are calling bullshit.
Yeah, because you saw how people freaked the fuck out about the last election. They were like, oh, it's rigged. There's all these conspiracy theories. Like, some of them are rooted in
And if they just straight up remove the man from the ballot, like...
That's not even a conspiracy theory.
No.
It's just like a fucking fact. Like, you literally just rigged an election.
That is what happened.
I put some shit on my Facebook. I caught some flack for it because, you know, I got pretty diverse fucking friends, man. So some of them are pretty liberal. Some of them are pretty conservative, whatever. Very few of us actually meet in the middle. But, like, the two shall never meet. But I posted a meme, and it was just a picture of, like, Joe Biden's face. And it just said Joe Biden wins Colorado. And it was as soon as they took him off the ballot, I posted that shit. And I said, sometimes to save democracy, you have to prevent voting. Yeah. And then people were just like, I was like, dude, oh, come on. But in their defense, they don't know that I do this show with you and all that stuff. So, I mean, like, I literally have dozens of hours of just shit talking content that's floating out there on random fucking platforms I don't even use. But yeah, I don't know, man. But I am optimistic, dude. I don't know. I am.
I mean, I don't know. Every time we end up making it through, so whatever.
Man,
you have to, as a person, you have to just realize what you can and can't control, and don't get pissed off about shit you have no control over.
Yeah.
Just be happy with your own damn life and do things to make your life better.
Yeah, that's what people forget, man.
Yeah.
You know,
like people get so tied up in shit that has nothing to do with them, and they have no say in what goes on anyway. You just forget about that shit and live your own fucking life.
You don't need to worry about what everybody else is doing. You don't need to be right all the fucking time.
No.
You don't have to be the loudest one in the room. Like,
you don't have to tell us that our shit isn't fucking funny. Like, fuck you.
Eat shit and die?
Yeah.
I just don't. I mean, it's good that they do that because, like, okay, we make some shit. We make, you know, one of our shorts make some outlandish claim. Like, I think one of them said fucking Elton John was a homophobe or some shit. A blatant homophobe is what we called him, right? Like, all right. So, like, but the people who actually fall for it, like, we like hook them in that little trap. They go and do their research, which I don't think.
And then they learn stuff.
They learn shit, and then they just think they're proving us wrong,
which is fine.
Yeah, and I'm like thinking in my head too, like when I see some of these comments, I'm like, do you think? Because there was one where we made fun of COVID and like we cropped like a meme over emoji over my face of someone wearing a mask, and I put like COVID in quotations or whatever, and some guy was just talking shit, and he was like, "Ooh, you actually said COVID." Like he thought I was trying to like edit it out and bleep it out. Like,
he thought we made a mistake.
Yeah, he thought we made a mistake, and I'm thinking
we make mistakes on this.
We just roll with it, motherfucker. Like REO Speedwagon, dude. We rolling with the changes, baby. It's a good song. Like, I'm just like thinking, dude, like all the time we spend writing, because I mean, to do a 20-second short, that's easily an hour's worth of work.
Yeah, the short writing, like recording podcasts, this stuff is super easy
compared to the shorts.
Yeah, like we just go off the cuff, like we just go off on stuff. But
occasionally, give me some credit. Occasionally, I'll write some shit.
Okay.
Like we'll do a story, like our last episode or two, like you know, the Andes and the Andes Mountains crash.
Eating people.
Don't eat people. But remember, we're only like 10 days out.
Unless you're hungry.
But yeah, dude. So I was thinking about this guy. I was like, you think all the time to write, to record, re-record shit, like take multiple takes, all the editing, finally taking the time to publish it, all this other shit, right? You think that I would just be like, oh, oops.
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm so God damn it.
Like, I watched this shit so many times, it's not even funny by the time I post it. Like,
yeah, like,
I've seen this.
Just want to get rid of it and be like, put it out there. I don't even want to see this shit again, you know? Because like the initial writing will laugh, but then when you see it fucking 85 times, it's like, okay, this is.
And we keep that, like, we have to record it quite a bit too.
But I enjoy it. Let us know in the comments, man. If you like the shorts, you got ideas, you got anyone you want us to make fun of, we'll do it. I don't give a shit.
Literally just list out random events, people, whatever. We'll string it together into something.
We can play a game. I'd like to play a game with you. Yeah, just give us a list of, I don't know, like three or four
random things, and we'll link them together.
And we'll make a story about it, man.
Like peanut butter, shotguns, chicken. I don't know, whatever.
I like, because I feel like celebrities and politicians are like, all bets are off on them.
Yeah.
Because they're in the public spotlight and they choose to be, right? So like, I love making fun of those guys, like so much. Or anyone that's dead, like historical figures, because you can kind of just get away with that. You don't have to really worry about anything. Although it seems to tend to piss people off.
Although again, our stuff is so outlandish. If you believe it, you're an idiot.
Yeah, like 100%. Yeah.
That's why we're a satirical channel as far as our shorts go.
But it's cool. We'll get cool comments. Some people will comment on them, man. Like fucking several people, and they'll be like, hey, like, this is comedy gold, 10 out of 10. Like, I love this. I was crying or whatever. Like, holy shit. So, I mean, there's people out there, and we get more of a following. So we got some fans that are coming to fight for us, you know? Yeah. I got to
So thank you.
I got an army of the willing. Let's get ready to roll. Let's do this. Oh, man. But yeah, let us know too in the comments, man. What's your New Year's resolutions, all that stuff, you know? Like, what are you going to do, man? What you got planned? You know, we're always like trying to be.
What are you going to do with your life this year?
Yeah. I'm calling it right now, man. There's too much shit in the world, man. I'm going to be positive all of 2024, dude. I'm new election. I think a lot of this shit in the world's going to calm down, dude. Economy's going to iron out a little bit more. Like, I think we're going to be all right, dude. We're going to get through this. But
speaking of that, so
like there's always a but.
So as far as the new year comes, the world will be approaching 8 billion people.
God damn, brother! Like that was a lot. I remember this is something you really wanted to talk about was the population.
Yeah, you know, I got to throw a little cynical twist on things, but so the world's population was up 75 million this year. So that's what puts us to the 8 billion on January 1st.
God damn, brother.
So pretty crazy on that. We are what I kind of wanted to go in on was the American end of it.
Okay.
So it's every second or every 9 seconds, one person is born in America, and every 9.5 seconds, someone dies. So that's a relatively even. I mean, we're kind of losing some people, but we got a little bonus here, and it's immigration. So an immigrant comes over every 28.3 seconds.
Damn.
So that kind of throws a little monkey wrench into our plan of staying even.
Yeah.
So.
Damn. That's wild, dude.
Yeah.
Shit.
So we're already.
Well, it's crazy to even think about, like, that. What did you say? 24.2 seconds?
Yeah, 20. Well,
28.3. Sorry.
Yeah, so with that math, then the U.S. is going to increase by 1 every 24.2 seconds.
I know we talked about it before, man. Like, one of the worst things, in my opinion, one of the worst things that you can do is step into another culture and say you have to change based on my beliefs, right?
Yeah.
Now, if someone wants to migrate to America the right way, do it all right, have a job or start a business, you know, get into the fold, right? Do what's right, no problemo.
Yeah, take Vivek again. I mean,
have at it. Yeah, 100%.
His family, American dream.
But because we've covered it on the show, but what we're starting to see, man, is like, and like when I'm talking about this, like a lot of people typically think oh, it's Mexicans coming from Mexico. Like, no, bro.
No, not at all.
It is like they're catching shit from like the Middle East, man, Africa. Like, and there are some fucking dangerous fucking people.
South America in general.
I don't want to say people, but organizations over there. Like, for example, like if people think about like Islamic extremism, right, or like terrorist groups, how many can you name? Like 3? And then when I fucking got on my deployment to Iraq, where I was at, like when we got our intel brief, they were like, there's 150 known extremist groups within like, I think it was like 200 miles of our base.
Because
And I was like,
an extremist group over there is the equivalent to a gang in America.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and then so like I don't know, man. And then it's like what has me worried is like a lot of these people are catching like the Iranians and stuff coming through, or Iranians like coming through. Like fuck, dude. And then like RFK Jr. went down there, dude. And did you ever see that interview where he was talking about it?
No, not that one.
I think I might have talked about it in one of our episodes. He went down there and spent a night down there on the border, and like he said, the entire night he only interviewed like 2 families that were from Latin America, Central America.
Damn.
Right.
Everyone else was from other countries.
Yeah, like Uzbekistan, like Iran, China, Haiti, all this shit, dude. And so I'm just like, yo, what the fuck is going on there?
And another thing to quickly point out is they're not health tested. So we're now in our border towns, we're seeing an uptick in like old diseases that we have gotten rid of.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that
like
shit.
Like measles, smallpox, mumps, malaria. Dude, all the old school shit that we as Americans didn't have to worry about. Well, now we are having to.
It kind of brings it back into like.
Because think about it. I mean, people from all over the world coming in.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't.
Shit. Well, it's like you know when we're in the military. Anytime you like move to another base, you get sick as fuck.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you're like in a whole new region. There's new viruses.
And that was on top of us getting shots.
Yeah, like, yeah. Like, you know, so I don't know, man. Like I don't know, fucking know. But what has me worried is like, which I know like America was founded by immigrants. I know that for just read a fuck. You don't have to read a book.
Of course, there's no arguing that.
But it's also like the world has changed a lot, and when we see people like I'm gonna call it, I'll say Iran is our enemy, right? When you have like Iranians like flooding in through the southern border, that's a fucking problem, man.
And again,
that's an invasion.
Is there a flood of American men flooding into Iran?
No, because that
place. Do you
place
think that would be allowed?
Because that place sucks ass, dude. I wouldn't even vacation.
Do you think that would be allowed though?
Fuck
they would
no.
Never they would fucking hold us at the border and shoot us.
Yeah, or they just throw us in a fucking jail cell and let us fucking rot for the rest of our lives.
They would plant a gram of weed on us, and that's 20 years.
Yeah, dude. Fuck that.
Chop a hand off.
You know what's crazy about Iran? Like if you go back and look at pictures in the 70s before the revolution, it was like one of the coolest, most progressive places ever, man. Girls beautiful as hell. Everyone dressed like hippies, smoking the ganja. Like, you know what I mean? Like it was a good time, man. And then they got all that fucking religion. They let religion into their politics, man. And with the Ayatollah. And so that's where it fucked them over 100%. That's why it sucks so much today. But what has me worried, man, is like, you saw this in England. I saw this in Germany. You see this in America. It actually happened in Hungary. Hungary now has a fucking electrified fence on their fucking border.
Oh yeah,
razor wire.
They stood up. They're
not
like,
fucking
fuck
around
because they saw what the hell happened in all of their surrounding countries.
Yeah, man. And like,
we can't wake up and see that. We can't learn a lesson. That's stupid as fuck.
And I talked about it one time. We're definitely going to end this episode on a positive note. All right, we're going to do that. Like I wanted to make that a point. Like, you know, but like I wrote a paper about it when I was in college for political science. Like while I was living in Germany, and I did the math based on the birth rates, and this is during the Syrian refugee crisis, right? Them coming over, you know, they were being propped up by the government. They were honestly, their government was helping them more than they were helping their own citizens. And we're starting to see some of that shit today. You know,
I mean, whenever they cross over, they get that health care, they get literal money. Sometimes they get a place to stay, they get a place to go.
God, it pisses me off because we both know illegal immigrants in America, like where we're at. Like most of them from Mexico, work their asses off. One of them, good friend of mine, owns his own business. Like I actually told him the other day, I was like, he owns his own business. He has a TIN where he pays taxes, right? He pays into Social Security, Medicaid, Medicare, all that shit, and absolutely receives no benefits whatsoever from it. Okay, so he pays to play, but he doesn't get even fucking play. You know, like that fucking pisses me off.
I mean, that dude's working harder than most Americans.
And I told him I was like, you're more American than most Americans.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, give that dude a fucking citizenship. You know what I mean? But like some fucking Iranian motherfucker wants to fly a missile over here
and gets amnesty.
Dude, and be like, oh, help me out. Like, because once they get their asylum seekers and they're granted that, the government just helps them out like a motherfucker, dude. And then it's like your own people, you just keep fucking and fucking and fucking. And so in Germany, they had the same goddamn problem, man. And they were propping these motherfuckers up for like with a lot of money, man. They'd give them like cell phone, they give them all free housing, like standalone houses, okay? Like not like shanty towns and shit. They were giving them, I think it was like 2,000. It's been a while, but it was a lot of euros a month. Just spend it on whatever you want. Groceries, booze, suicide vest, whatever's on the menu, like whatever the fuck you want. And so of course the Germans were getting pissed off, but I wrote this paper in school because I looked at the rate at which they were migrating into Germany, and then then the birth rate that followed that, and then I actually worked out the math, and I was like, in 3 generations, Germany won't even be ran by Germans.
Oh yeah, that's the same with that's the same with England.
You will lose your culture. So,
but no one wants to step up and say the truth
because then you're a racist.
Yeah. So we're gonna just totally destroy our entire culture just because we were afraid to open our fucking mouth.
Like my friend who is an immigrant from Mexico, I was just telling you about, the business owner and everything. He has strong beliefs. He's like that. He's like, build that fucking wall, man. He was like, basically like,
because that hurts him too. I mean, the shit I've seen a lot of actual legal immigrants that are like, this shit pisses me off. Like, this is bullshit.
Yeah, dude. And it's just like, dude, if you can't even protect your own fucking soil, like, fuck off. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like all those politicians would be like, no, we got to do this or whatever. And then like, fucking, God damn it. You're getting me fired up, man. Every time I try to get like, I'm going to be happy. We're going to be positive. New year, new me, new hair. Let's do this. Woo. And then now I'm over here screaming about immigrants coming into America. But like, it's like Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, when they were running, they were like, yeah, like basically like, come on over. Who gives a fuck? Let's just fucking open the front door for anyone to come in. Right. Mm-hmm. And as soon as they get in office, she gives that whole speech, which we made fun of her, and I love it, where she's just like, don't come. Yeah. Don't come. And I love the one where they crop Donald Trump from one of his rallies, and he's like, I'm gonna come. That's like, but they're just fucking pandering, man. They're just trying to get fucking more. I don't know. They just say what the fuck they want, which not.
They always do that.
I don't know, man. And then they get in there and they're like, oh fuck. And now Joe Biden, like, he's like, I got these funds that have already been appropriated for the wall.
Yeah,
he's
which keep in mind, he built his campaign on quoting, "We will not build another foot of that wall while I'm in office." Yep. It's like, turns out, guys, we got to build a wall.
Yeah, you know, and then it's like funny because he wants to talk about like all this, like, oh, like I'm pro, like I just wish that motherfucker would stand up for like his own citizens half as much as he does for like illegals. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And once again, when I'm talking about like, I'm not talking like I keep addressing it, but I'm not talking about like people coming over from Mexico who just want like a new life, like a new opportunity and work and do all that stuff and contribute and everything like that. I'm talking about literally like what we just discussed, like all this other shit, man. You know, and I don't fucking know, dude. Like they're sacks of shit, dude. That's a fucking rant just leeches. Going over the leeches. So fuck them, dude. I mean, they'll say whatever the fuck they can to get like anything. I don't know, man. It's just,
that's politics.
Fuck them. God damn it. I hate that shit so much. All right. I'm just going to go ahead and say it now. If for whatever reason you ever see me running for political office in any capacity, just know that truly deep down in my heart, I believe that all is lost and it is a last ditch effort to like reset the game, dude. Like shit has to get bad. And I mean,
Justin Allen, 2028.
Got the hair for it now. Yeah. Oh fuck, man. You want to tackle any more of these issues, dude? You want to talk about that police shooting?
We got to talk about a positive note.
The California bill, we can.
That's good. California, they did something good for once in their fucking lives.
Fucking surprised. I mean, it's the first time I've seen anything good out of that state in a long time.
Assembly Bill number 2188. So, long story short, you won't be able to get fired from a job if you use marijuana off work. So apparently the drug tests now, if they finally found some, or like finally created some that are able to test if you currently, like basically to tell if you're high right now.
Okay.
Because used to, of course, the old piss test, hair test, all that kind of stuff would just say, yeah, there's THC in your system.
It's present, but they don't know if it's actually active in your body.
Yeah. So now the new test, I don't know if it's a piss test or what. That wasn't clear in the bill. I guess they figured it out somehow. But anyways, it'll show if you currently have psychoactive chemicals in your body at the time of the test, and then they can fire you. But other than that, you still have to agree to a pre-employment drug screening if that is part of the contract. But aside from that, you're free to go home and smoke weed just like everybody else would go home and drink some beers. So
it's good.
That is a step in the right direction. I will say that.
I remember the Canadian military. It was this is probably half a decade ago. They had something similar where they were like, okay, all of our military can smoke weed now. You just can't do it. I think it was like 24 hours prior to D-Day.
Yeah.
And then in the same whatever they did, the same legal documentation, they were like, okay, you can have beards. so they got to take bong rips and have beards and shit, dude. Did I ever tell you did I tell you about when I was leaving Iraq? How the Canadian Air Force got me out of there?
No.
I made the joke with a guy, made him laugh. Okay. Fuck it. We let this episode go a little long. Give him a treat for the new year, be positive. So, so I'm leaving Iraq or whatever. And you probably remember how this was when you're in Afghanistan. Like, they have like a little terminal. It's an airport, right? It's literally a tent on the side of like a makeshift runway, right?
Yeah.
And every day you got flights coming in and out, right? Some shipping people, shipping cargo, weapons, whatever, food. I mean, you name it. Damn, those fireworks getting loud. But doing all that. And so you go down to like this terminal when it's your time to leave. Your replacement's here. It's already been trained. You're ready to go. You got the clear to leave.
Like, thank God I'm getting out of here.
Yeah. And so roughly every 12 hours, they update the flight schedule, right? So you go down there. It's literally a dry erase board. Like,
and you've got all your shit with you.
Yeah.
Like, you're just sitting out there waiting, hoping your flight comes soon.
And so I'm sitting there and I'm going every 12 hours to check. And at this point, like, we're several weeks past like our due time. And it's like, just get me out of here.
Yeah, that's
I'm
the
fucking
worst.
done, dude.
Yeah.
And what had happened is the area had gotten too hostile, and basically our military, Air Force, the U.S. military, decided they weren't going to fly any aircraft in or out until that shit cooled down, right? And at the time, that's when Donald Trump is going at it with Justin Trudeau over fucking dairy tariffs.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like they're just fucking, he just moves on a whole tariff trip or whatever.
God, let's not get started on that shit.
Yeah, all right. But that just plays into the joke, all right? We start screaming for another 20 minutes, you know? And so anyway, every day I go down there and it's just, this board is empty. No flights. And I'm just like, oh my God, dude. Like,
this is purgatory.
I literally was like, I'm fucking stuck in hell. I died. This is hell. This is where I'm going to fucking be forever. How they got, you know? Porque Dios. But anyway, Spanish comes out sometimes. But like, so I'm going like every day and I'm just checking. And it's just so disheartening. And then like the guys who work there, like, I was deployed with two other guys, and like the main rotation of other guys, they'd already gotten out. Like we didn't stay. Yeah, so we all got left behind.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
So like so we were like just kind of stuck there in limbo. And then like finally like the guys were like, "Hey man, go talk to the Canadians." And I was like, "All right." So we went and talked to the Canadians. Like, we're like, "Can you get us?" They were, "Bro, get on this fucking plane like right now. Like, we'll get you out of here right now." And I'm like, "Oh, thank God!" Like,
Canada.
Yeah, and I'm thinking of like the South Park movie.
Yeah,
and shit, like,
yeah.
Blame Canada, blame Canada. And then so like I'm like, "Fuck, dude." And then the whole time I'm like, "Don't make jokes, because I mean, you know, I'm cracking jokes, be like, "Are your tires really squares?" You know, like, shit like that. Like, "Oh, your whole head doesn't."
That is your headstand.
Yeah, buddy.
I'm not your buddy, guy.
I'm not your guy, friend. But so they get us on this fucking aircraft, right? We're like in a C-130. We're in jumper seats, right? Like the cargo net seats and shit, strapped in. And air crew's in there or whatever. And the plane's basically empty. They just dumped off a bunch of shit and then we're getting out of there. And they had a cooler because they flew from like I'm assuming Canada. Like, you know, they had a cooler and in it they had Tim Hortons. And I was like, holy fuck. They were like, "You want some Tim Hortons?" I was like, "Thank you." Yeah. Like, you know, like, and I was just like eating it and shit. Because I'd been like eating like shitty fucking food and MREs and stuff. And I had a big Canadian flag hanging in there and shit. Nothing ever looked so beautiful in my fucking life, dude. I'm telling you, man. Like, you know, like for real, like any port in the storm, there is a God. Like, you know what I mean? And so we're getting ready to take off, and it's loud as fuck, you know. And the loadmaster in there, he's coming up and he's like, he kind of walks by, and I was like, "Hey," and I was like, "Thank you guys so much, man." And he's like, "Yeah, no problem." I was like, "You know what? Fuck those dairy tariffs. You can have that shit. I don't give a shit." Because I was like this. I was like, at the end of the day, it was the Canadian military that got American fucking troops out of there because our people wouldn't come and do it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I kind of got at least for like, and I worked with the Canadians a lot. I do have kind of like a little special spot in my heart for the Canadians. You know, their government, that's a different story. They're just fucked.
Hell, who are we to talk?
Yeah. So like, I think Canadians are so nice too, man. Like they're just so freaking nice, man. Oh God. But you know what? There's always some good shit. You know, it's all about perception, right?
Yeah.
You know, you can find bad shit in anything, man. And I'm a firm believer in this in life, dude. We're all gonna go through some shit from time to time, and seems like we're probably gonna go through a lot of shit in 2024. But you got two choices, man. You can be fucking sad and angry, or you can laugh about it. That's really what it comes down to. Just choose the left, man. It's all about the perception.
Yeah, don't be a down in the dumps fool.
Debbie Downer.
Yeah.
But it's and that's all the media pushes these days, and TikTok and all that stupid shit just floods negative shit, man. So
yeah, but that's what works. Negative energy gets the fucking hits. That's why news, they don't report on positive shit.
Fuck that. We're taking that fucking over. We're doing this shit.
All right, we should try to report on more positive shit. At least sprinkle it in now and again.
Yeah, like every once in a blue moon, like throw a nugget in there. Like, yeah. Not all hope isn't lost, ladies and gentlemen.
You know what? We can do this.
Yeah. Like we were talking about, like getting our next studio set up already. Like we do have a green screen. Like one thing that we've been talking about doing is actually like legit, because we get labeled as misinformation all the time. Like, okay, of course. Like, anyway, we have a green screen. I really want us to do that fake news. Like I think I'm gonna call it like FNN, like Fake News Network, and then just like tuning in or whatever, like literally like broadcasting.
Same colors, same logo as CNN.
And just start reporting the news like weekly or some shit, but it's just like made up shit. Oh, speaking of that, this is actually kind of funny. I actually enjoyed this. So I've been watching Tucker Carlson on X now, right? He's got his own like show and everything. Yeah. It's I don't know like all the guests he's interviewed, but some of them are pretty good. Yeah, did you catch the one that he did with the founder or the owner and creator of the Babylon Bee, like the satire, like?
Oh no, I didn't. I watched like a little bit of it, but I didn't see the whole thing.
God, dude! And he was just talking about like how people believe crazy shit, and because they essentially just do the same shit we do, right? But I mean, they actually have like a newsletter. They do.
They've been doing that shit for years.
Oh, since we were in high school.
Yeah,
and he was just talking about how like the fact checkers, third-party fact checkers have just gotten out of control. And he's been like, at one point he was like banned on Twitter, and they were just going over the cases of where he'd gotten screwed over by like big media and shit, like big tech and stuff.
Yeah.
And it was for like the most outlandish shit. Like one of the titles was of an article that got him flagged, got him all fucked up, I think on Facebook, was CNN buys industrial washing machine to put a spin on the news before they give it, or they send it out or whatever. And then like they were like fact checking, they were like, CNN never actually
bought. They did not buy a washing machine.
Industrial washing machine to spin the news.
I thought you were gonna say they bought it to launder some money.
They just want to put some fucking spin on the news. It's like, and it's just crazy. But then like, what Tucker did with the guy was actually kind of cool. They went through, and I've seen this before. They went through and they found like several articles that his company had written where essentially they were just making fun of shit, and then it came true.
Like The Simpsons.
Yeah. And he was like explaining how it happened. He was like, yeah, he's like, we literally, just like what we do, we sit in a room and we just, okay, here's the fact. Now let's make it crazy. And it's just satire and reality are just meshing into an apex, like the crazy shit you can imagine. Like it's just, think it up.
That's why people believe this stuff, is because at this point, literally anything insane has a chance of being true.
I think the dude actually said that same shit on that show, man. I think he was like, yeah, there you go. It's just so crazy or whatever. But I like it, you know. And then they were talking about, you know, what we've talked about before, like freedom of speech and like laughing about things, having a sense of humor with satire and all the other stuff. And it's like, do you really want to live in a world where you can't do that?
Yeah.
Like, fuck that.
You get punished for saying anything that isn't the fucking narrative.
Yeah. That's like some dictator shit, dude, you know? So, but I don't know. The Babylon Bee, man, I love that shit so much.